So there has been a small glitch in between. So I'm continuing from where it discontinued. So it is is dot factor ACS, and it was false. So let's find out whether it is a character variable or not. And I would write is dot character ACS, and it's true. So now the next checking point is to find out how to make it a factor variable. So first of all, to make it a factor variable with, say, levels low, middle, and high, I would write like acs.f and factor and then acs, and I would write the levels to specify the levels of this factor variable. And as before, I am writing the levels as low, then say middle, and then say high. So now enter, and now I would check whether this is dot factor, whether this acs.f is a factor variable or not, and yes, it's a factor variable. And now I want to check the levels. So the levels of this variable is returned as low, middle, and high. If I had written only, say for example, is dot factor and then ACS, sorry, if I had written ACS dot F3 as factor ACS, now check whether it is also a factor variable or not. Sorry. So it is also a factor variable. The difference is here I have specified the levels, here I have not. So let's find out what happens. So when I print this acs.f3 is high, low, and middle. It's not like low, middle, and high. When I specify low, middle, and high, it is written as low, middle, and high, but here it is specified as high, low, and middle. But still, it is not an ordered factor variable. To make an ordered factor variable, we need to use the command order. So I would create one ordered factor variable, acs.order, and use the command ordered, and again specify this variable acs. Then levels, I will specify the levels as low, and then middle, and then high. So now it is created, and I will check this acs.order. Sorry, acs, and it has returned the ordered variables. So again, now I would write as acs order. I think I have missed that C again. So it will be like a small correction, ordered ACS and then C, and you need to specify now. Let's check how this looks like. Look here, the levels are low, less than, middle, less than, high. It has been ordered over here. So when I created a factor variable, it was a mere factor variable with high, low, and middle. I wanted to make it in an order to low, middle, and high. So it was low, middle, and high when I specified the levels as like that, low, middle, and high. And when I wanted to make it ordered, I used the ordered function, and now it is low, less than middle, less than high. So now it is a ordered factor variable. Now I want to add a particular level to this variable. So to add one particular level to this variable, ses.f, that was the factor variable we created. In this variable, how would we create a particular level? So I would write again as factor, but here I won't write ses, rather I would write factor ses.f, and I would specify that it should take the previous orders only, so previous levels only. So I have specified levels. So I have specified levels of ACS.f so that it takes that level, and then it would take another level that is very high. So it will take this very high level, and I will put a enter. Now let's find out how this thing looks like. So ACS.f remains same, only one new level has been added, that is very high. So this very high level has been added to this thing. And now I want to add a new data point. So I would write a 21st data point as ACS F21, and it will be very high. It has been created. Let's now try to find out whether I can create another observation without adding a new level. So I would write one level that I have not added previously, so it is extremely high, and see, it cannot be created, and it has been returned with a warning message. So when I now write down as ses.f, it has already taken that 25th value, but 21st value, but the 22nd value is not present because it failed to take that value. So if I again want to add this thing, I would write like ses.f, and I would write as factor, and then I would use the factor ses.f, and then I would add the levels of ses.f, and here I would use the levels of its previous levels of ses.f, and again I would add this new level, extremely high. And let's see what happens now. ses.f. Now these levels have been created, and I have to create this 22nd observation. So it will be SESF. And with this 22nd observation, I would write as extremely high. So now it is created. Now let's check it out again. See, the 22nd observation has been created as extremely high, and the levels have been shown here. So if I wanted to do an ordered variable order1 with this, I would write as ordered and then SES and then levels. Then I will have to specify the levels. Low, then I want to make it middle, then I want to make it high, very high, and extremely high. So now check SES order 1. See, The order has been created over here. Now, how to add or drop levels in factor variables? I have added already one level. Now I want to drop a particular level. So if I want to drop a particular level, I would write as ACS dot say, what was our last one? This was ACS dot F. So I will create ACS F, say for example, a newer one, say ACS F4, and I will write down as ACS.F, and from ACS.F it has to drop. So exclamation mark is the drop, and then it's very high. And let's now check how this ACS F4 looks like. So it has dropped this very high. No very high over here. Now I again want to drop this extremely high. How do I write that? Again ACS.F4 and then ACS.F, and from ACS.F it should be dropping this particular level of extremely high. So now check this ACS.F4. So I have dropped that extremely high. Now the very high is written. Now if I want to drop both of them, so say for example ACS dot F5, and then ACS dot F4, ACS dot F4, and I drop is very high. Let's see how this looks like. So here we had used this thing, but this extremely high level is retained, whereas the variable has been dropped. So now what I will do, I will create first a table. So the table will be read, say 41, 42, 56, 72, 73, 34, 36. How many has been created? 3, 3, 6, 7. So let it be 72 again. 8th value, now the 9th value, and now the 10th value. And I will copy them all for my convenience. So now I have created. Now I would tabulate. I'll create one data. So say for example combined data, or say my new is the new data frame name, and I will frame this as data frame, and in this data frame I will write the variable names. So initially we had created sex, then we created sex.f, then we created ACS, and then we created ACS.f, and we created ACS dot order, and we created read. That is also another variable. Sorry, there is one error. I think 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so I think there has been one variable 20 and 22. So two different rows has been created for one variable. So it has been difficult for it to find out. So I have to drop a particular one. So from my new, I will drop this one. Now it's created. Actually, this ACS.f initially had 22 values when I created this ACS.f, and it failed to create a data frame for that. So now let's tabulate. So I'll write as tab and it will come as table. I want to table this ACS and this 6. See, for example, here it specifies the high, middle, and low and the values of sex. So now, if I write that tabulate sex.f, comma, ACS.order, it has created that table. So 6 males are from low income group, 2 from higher middle income, and 2 from high income group. So see how easy it is to create one table. And now I will go for box plot. So to do that box plot, I would use the library lattice, and then we would do this box plot with the command bwplot, and we'll write as is equal to read, and I want to randomize for the socioeconomic status, comma, data will be my new, and layout will be, sorry, there has been a wrong layout, sorry. Sorry, there has been a wrong layout. Layout matrix contain at least one reference to each of the variable 1 to 3. So I would use library again. Library has been specified, so I will do this box plot and will then specify this sex and then read. So now it has created the box plot. You can check the levels, and for each one the score of reading. Now if I want to make it combined, I need a factor variable. So previously I didn't include one factor variable for that. That is actually causing the problem. So whatever it is, I would write as bw plot and then sex, then the score of reading by, say, ACS. Data has already been specified. See, it has given the difference in sex for the reading score for all these categories: high, low, and middle. What happens if I want to know or plot the levels over here? So I will write box plot and then sex, then score by or. Now let's find out. The levels have come: male and female, low, middle, and high socioeconomic status, and it has been given in that ordered form only. So now you know how to do that box plot as well. Now let us do some linear modeling with this thing. So to do a linear model, I would write as summary, then linear model is LM, and then I want to model read with factor variables xf. I may or may not specify the data. If I want to, I obviously can specify in that the data is my new, and it has given the result. See, my call was this formula LM. Formula was read is equal to sexf, and data was my new, and it has returned the linear regression model over here. You can get the residual standard error, multiple R squared value here. Now make it a multiple linear model. So I would again write the same comment and will add one variable to this model. So that variable is ACS dot author. So here, check this. It has given a full factorial one. So not a full factorial one, but a model in which sex for female, been male being the base, and for socioeconomic status, L and Q were the orders, and means low was the base, and then it had given the multiple R squared, and it's a good model fit, obviously 0.43 with this much value. It has also given one F statistic for this. So if we wanted to if we wanted to do something without using this we can also use the C function to do a particular thing. C function actually allows us to create several contrast. Say, for example, treatment and other treatment contrast. So it is actually a matter of dummy coding. And here, let's now write my new and within my new I would specify like sex dot contrast is equal to then print on printer this become extra, and this will be attributes of sorry